Welcome to the next Teachappy book club, and this week we're focusing on Into the Forest by Dr. Qing Li, who is Associate Professor at the Nippon Medical School in Tokyo, Japan. And he starts the book by talking about how humans are essentially an nature-dwelling species, that for most of our human existence, human beings have hunted and gathered outside in nature as part of nature. But since the year 2000, we are now officially an urban dwelling species. And by 2050, it's projected that 75% of the projected 9 billion population will be living in cities. And Europeans spend about 90% of their waking lives inside rather than outside. And for Americans, that figure goes up to 96%. And he really makes the case that this is extremely detrimental to our health and our happiness. Because we know that regular exposure to and spending time in nature not only helps us survive but thrive in life. And that's why this whole book talks about this concept of forest bathing, essentially bathing in natural settings, particularly woodlands and forests. And what he shares is so much research from his own studies but also other people's, that spending just 2 hours in a forest can reduce our blood pressure, lower our stress levels, improve our cardiovascular health, improve our concentration and our memory, lift us out of depression, boost our immune system, help us sleep better and improve our energy levels, as well as a whole host of other benefits which he goes on to explore in detail in the book. And he really unpicks each of those benefits, shares the evidence base, and shows us practically what we can do to kind of improve our access to nature. So one, yes, we can get out and spend time in nature like forests and woodlands that we have nearby. Second thing he says is just looking at nature. And he cites a famous study in his book by Roger Ulrich, who studied patients recovering from abdominal surgery in hospitals. And those patients whose windows overlooked a natural setting, maybe some grass and some trees, recovered from their surgeries more quickly than the patients who had exactly the same surgeries but their windows overlooked walls, brickworks, other buildings. Fascinating study. He also talks about bringing nature inside, so filling our rooms with plants because they absorb CO2, carbon dioxide, and they release oxygen. And this book has definitely had an impact on my life personally. I have several different plants in my little garden office at home, and also when I worked in a London school which had very little nature outside surrounding it, we got plants into classrooms. I had about 4 or 5 different houseplants in my year 4 classroom, and the kids used to help water the plants and take care of them with me. This is a fascinating book. I really do think that one of the most underrated ways we can boost our well-being is to get in touch with nature, spend time in nature, bring nature indoors, and just increase our access to it. So, have you read the book? If so, let me know. If you haven't read it, then please do. It's a fascinating book.